It's a pleasure to welcome you to Lulo Records.
Thank you, brother.
DJ DEBO, Fan Freaks.
Indeed, Chief Crate Rocker.
Nice.
Big DEBO.
Check this out, guys. So we have here, can we say like you are one of the ones who maintains the funk alive in record and also in digital? What?
Yes, indeed. That is a fact. That is what we do. That's what I do. That's what we live for. That's our lifestyle, just to keep the funk alive and not fake the funk. So that's our two mottos. Don't fake the funk and keep the funk alive. Both ways. That's how it works, you know. That's
amazing. Thank you for coming and tell me, what are you doing in Miami? I mean, you travel for what? For pleasure, to look for music, for everything, for food?
That's just extras that comes with everything, honestly, what I do. But I'm actually here on vacation, a bit of a vacation, and also to do a little bit of work and just to really, see what Miami has to offer and meet up with friends, my good friend DJ DEBO, and see him DJ perform over here. So I came and I promised him after our tour in Europe and also the U.S. tour that I was opening up for him that I'd come and visit him when he's over here. So, word is bond and I'm here.
You are uniting East, right?
Oh.
The East with the West. What's the main difference you see maybe in terms of music culture, the East, the West?
There's a lot more records here. California is getting sucked up with records. It's a cutthroat. There's a lot of people collecting out there, and main reason I like to travel a lot is to help my brother's record shop in stocking records. So. Yeah, shout outs to my brother Lure, my brother Loser, Unique, all those guys, everybody from the crew from Riverside. Also, big shout out to them, because we're the ones that are doing the legwork on this funk thing, DJing.
This is very nice. So tell me about the crew, right? Because it's not what you said, one person behind the movement, or even when I discovered you a long time ago, and then I saw Fan Freaks Argentina, Fan Freaks Germany, Fan Freaks like all over. How is this movement like born?
It was born from necessity. Like for us, we needed the world to know that funk is still alive, and the preservation of vinyl collecting, archiving records, especially 80s funk music, was huge in our demographics as Chicano, as Mexican Americans. We were the ones that were collecting it in California. It just so happens I built the crew, started the crew when it was my brother's birthday party, and out of necessity, I had to make it happen. I just knew that we have to do this because nobody has a night dedicated to the type of music we like. So we have, and now we're going 16 years. 15-year anniversary was a couple months ago, but we're going on 16 years now. The connection with everybody else around the world was because we're geeking out on records. Like, we're just nerds. Like, yo, this version? That there's a French version of this and there's a different copy of it. There's a, Canadian pressing of this. Stuff like that, like that we would just talk about. I finally, when I moved to Europe, I made the connection with everybody. And I honestly, like, it came to me as like, why don't you guys just rep our crew out there so to show the world that the music transcends generations, people, ethnicity, and life, So that's how the crew started. And now we have representatives from Russia to Sweden to Amsterdam, from Italy to France, Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, and everywhere. We're trying to spread it out.
And how is the process of discovering new music or new artists? How you
through crew members like Casablanca would tell me, Midas, check this out, like check out this record. Oh, like check out this artist right here coming up, whoop-de-woo, Mia, we stuff like that. That's how originally how we started the crew. Changing, talking about records. That's the same way how I get discovered from new music. I'll get put on, is what we say. They'll put you onto this new record, the crew. They'll show me, they'll post a track. I'll even ask, I know, see me at Wednesday. I'll be like, hey, what record is that? And I'll take a picture because I'm too drunk to remember. So I need to see that, because that's just what it is, as friends, like, yeah, here, look, take a picture. I'm the same way, like, yeah, you look, I'll tell you the record, if you're my friend.
No, and something very important and at the same time very basic, where we were discussing before. So to be able to have music on vinyl, it's not that everyone is releasing tracks on vinyl. So this is born based on your necessity of playing some songs that you cannot find on this format, right? So you open a place and you say, hey, I need new music. You contact the artist. You say, hey, can we put that track? How we do it? Okay, you do it, right? Tell me about that process of,
well, respectfully, how we like to do it, we like exclusivity to vinyl pressing with the artists that we're working with. And one shot kind of deal. We don't like to reissue the records. We don't like to do any more extra copies than what is asked of. And as projects, we like to do it limited amounts, limited quantities, and to keep it just on vinyl format, you know. And it's on the artist whether they want to release the music via Spotify or whatever, YouTube. All power to them, because that's their bread and butter, you know. For us, these records that we produce, that I make happen with my brothers, is literally for the DJs and collectors. That's what these four are for, you know. Like a lot of the records we like literally put on there for jukebox use only, you know. That's So we like doing that to let you know this is supposed to be played, not to be just, you know what I mean, hold out. This is supposed to be played. Like, this is for the DJs, this is for the collectors, this is for the people, vinyl enthusiasts, the record heads, you know. That's what they're for. That's what we make these music and this record for.
Yeah, and also this is another basic concept that you guys know very well, but people who is starting in this, all collecting music, one thing is to have the long play, the LP, the full songs, and the other thing is to have the 45 and one song in each side. And you are those kind of DJ, right, that chooses just to mix with 45, right?
No, I DJ everything, man. I do everything? LPs, I DJ 12 inches. Yeah, he's strictly 45s.
Exactly.
Me, I just got I like the collecting and DJ 45s because it's harder. It's makes it harder to mix and blend in. You have to know your records. You got to know that this 45 version is not the same as the 12-inch version or the same as the LP version. So in your head, you already know, all right, the intro is not going to have that long of mix in, so you got to cut it in. And so sometimes the pressing, you need to know the pressing on the record, what type of record it was pressed on. You know, like the pressing from France is completely different than the pressing in the U.S. Weight-wise, also grams to vinyl, you know, and you just got to know your records. And it's, for me, I love the challenge of mixing with 45. It's better, it's funner, and makes your DJs step their game up.
Okay, so for those, you know, DJs, like more, let's say the younger crowd that who is interested in starting in the vinyl DJing, what's your recommendation on how to approach? Because it can look intimidating, right? Like physically mixing,
right,
and getting to, it's expensive as well, like to buy.
I'd suggest they try out, depending on the genre of music, if they're available on 12-inch. 12-inch mixes are always extended. It's easier to mix. The sound quality is a lot better than 45s, a lot better than LPs. And sometimes they got dub versions on the backside, depending what genre of music you're collecting and mixing. And it's a lot easier to mix, you know, with 12 inches due to the fact that the pressing sounds so much better. But just be passionate, realistically, you know, and don't give up. You got to keep going, you know, as much as you want to. But, you know, just got to keep going. Skill-wise, you know, like keep going. Because everybody likes seeing the lamplight when people are DJing, but they don't see the part when you're in your room struggling, you know, where your parents are telling you to turn the music off or, you know, or losing records or not knowing where they're at. And the madness you go through when you know you have a record, but you can't find it. So you spend 3 days looking for it. Like, nobody sees all this stuff. So,
That's
you know, you just got to keep going.
So let's go back a little bit. How you started with them in the music? Are you a musician? You were like coming from a musical family. Like what's?
No, I think I had an obsession with vinyl. My first interaction with records was at the age of 5, and I clearly remember it. My father had his record collection, and he bought me a Sesame Street turntable with Big Bird. I lasted not even 10 seconds, and I broke the needle with the record, scratching it. I cried like a little kid, like young. I was like a baby. I was 5 years old, and after that, I'm assuming my father or my mother found out, like, okay, this kid likes these records. So kickstarted another 4 years, 4 years. They kept buying me album records, Chipmunks, and you know what I mean, Disney records, you know, stories. And everybody in the 90s had the big stack of you remember those systems that they sell with cassettes, radio,
yeah.
and turntables on top with big old 12-inch speakers. I had one of those in my room, so I'd be playing those records on top of that. I learned how to preserve, take care of records. All right, that was at 8 years old. And then this was at 12 years old. My older brother, his friend, went to jail. He was a DJ. So my brother was involved in gangs. His friend went to jail, and my brother asked him, "Hey, can I borrow your turntables? 2 turntables on a mixer." He's like, "Yeah, you can take them. I'm gonna go to jail for a year, and I want them back when I come back." All right, cool. So my brother didn't have any room in his room, and I shared a room with my younger brother, and I had a dresser, and we put the turntables there in my room. And I had a set of turntables I always wanted, like, oh shit. And next thing you know, I used to wake up at 4:30 in the morning, like pitch dark, and I started playing with records on my headphones till 6:30.
Wow.
And then go catch the bus, take a shower, change, go catch the bus, go to school, come back, run back and do the same thing, just playing records. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I was playing with, these 2 records, 2 turntables.
And what kind of music at that
hip hop?
time?
It was hip hop.
Okay.
Yeah, hip hop music right there. I mean, it was a beat up Newmark mixer with no crossfader. I was literally Techniques 900 and a 1200. So 2 different turntables. And, I didn't know what I was doing. Fast forward, my brother's friend got out of jail early, 6 months, and he took it from me. So imagine, man, like I was like, damn, man, like, I need that shit. It's like a drug to me now. It's like, and after that, I just devoted. I'm like, man, I'm going to get turntables. But, my first job, thanks to my mom's too, my first check was $400. And the DJ setup cost $800, and she's like, I'm like, literally with my first check, I'm like, I want turntables in the mixer.
Wow.
And she said, all right, you want it that bad? Like, here's the extra $400, go get your shit, and I got my set of DJ turntables, and I put them on boxes. We're like how we are here on cardboard boxes. I was DJing right here with a little chair, just learning, same shit, just passionate about it. Just kept going.
And when was your first gig? Like,
first gig, house party.
House parties.
Like this. It was just hip hop and house parties. That was it. My gig. My first club gig was at 16, Westminster Manor over there in Beach Boulevard. I was 16, did a club then, but that was I was doing house parties, and the type of music I'd be playing was mostly funk and like hip hop at the time too. Late 2000s hip hop, obviously when I was in high school, stuff like that. This is pre-Serato. So everybody was transitioning to Serato. Serato came around in the late 90s, but nobody had the money to afford Serato. Nobody had the time to transfer, record, and do everything. But once, I was the pre-Serato time. But that was in high school, just doing house parties, really, I keep saying that here and there.
At that time, you had a big collection, or when you start to buying?
I think my collection kicked it up when I was turned like 18, 19. I really started getting into more hip hop oriented, but like the funk was always there, like that right there, the sampling as well, because hip hop really puts you on to a lot of different type of music, from jazz, bossa nova. You see these producers do all this crazy stuff. So what happens with a curious mind? You start asking questions like, man, where is it? I heard this before, or it might be tuned into the jazz, the wave, and you hear the jazz version of this track. I'm like, whoa, what? Like, stuff like that. Oh, somebody sampled this, and that's what it was, the Kickstarter. And my collection just grew from 18, 19. I started just collecting for myself. And that's where I got passionate about it, collecting a lot more,
At some point, I think a lot of people start selling their records because of, I don't know, the Spotify, or moving to another place, or, even downsize and say, if we have it in the phone, why to have this?
Yeah.
Whoa, what happened with you with that?
Possessiveness, and also I think that actual essence of owning the music. Like, like if you're passionate about something, depending on your motives of doing something, if your motive was to get girls and to make money to be a DJ, more power to you, and that's why I think nothing against them. I'm sure they probably needed money, or they just couldn't afford to hold their records, but I can't let go any records of mine. My personal collection, I can't. It's just like I have such a connection with it. Like I could lose my keys or my phone, but I could tell you where I bought each record. Like, and I have over, I don't know how many records, but like I could tell you exactly where I found this record. Oh yeah, I found this in Berlin. I was in Brussels when I found this record. You know what I mean? I could tell you. That's how, you know, a record collector works. Exactly. Realistically. That's how we, you know, our mindset works, you know. I'll forget, you know, like, oh yeah, you know, like take out the trash. I forgot to do that. But you know, I'll remember where I bought that record, you know? Yeah.
Do you have any crazy expensive record?
I have a couple. Yeah, I got a couple. Yeah, you know, and that's because I've been collecting since, you know, since I was 16, man. So damn, man, that's a long time.
Yeah.
That's over, yeah. When I was 16, that's 24 years already collecting.
That's amazing. Do you have any dream with Fun Freaks, like to evolve to at some point?
Yeah, we are a culture, you know. This is a lifestyle that we chose to live. So we are the forefront of what it should be, of what funk music should be represented as. Because this is blue collar music. This is street culture. This is what we are, you know. This is our life. And I want to take it to the forefront of the world and let people know, like, music transcends and makes people, you know, takes people to different levels. And stars the limit. I just want my friends and my people to succeed and to be able to do what they love, you know. And Funk Freaks is going to be there, you know, where it doesn't matter. Doing this 16 years now. We just had a 15-year anniversary. We're doing it 16 years now. And, you know, and I just got to keep it forward, you know, keep it moving, stay relevant and make things happen, you know. That's what I want to take Funk Freaks to the next level.
Why funk? I mean, you know, Latin music, classical, like great composers and rock and, you know, power, guitars.
Right.
Why funk? What moves you from that?
It's when you hear those keys, when you hear that synth, when it makes the hair in the back of your neck stand up. That's what I always compare it to. When I hear Roger, even to this day, even Roger Troutman, when I hear More Bounce, or when I hear, you know, any of Roger Troutman's songs, I still feel the same way when I was 8, 9 years old playing the Greatest Hits record CD, you know, like Roger's Greatest Hits. Like, I still feel that. You know, that's the beauty of it, you know. And that's why in that funk, that song that we love in California, I'm always going to feel that. You know, whatever track I hear, like, that I know, that I love, that feeling always takes over me. And it's just like, that'll never go away, you know. There's a piece of me.
And what artist or record or song do you suggest for someone who wants to enter to the world of funk? Like, what's the opening, you know? That
the opening, I'd say my boy Mofok. If you're into talk box funk, you know, like, definitely look up Mofok. He has a nice discography, a lot of work with a lot of artists. That's our boy right there. Obviously, DEBO is opening doors for everybody. Like, honestly, he's in the forefront of what modern funk should sound like, and it is in these days, you know.
But you told me about the Funk 101, right?
The classic Rick James.
Exactly.
We're talking about punk funk. Yeah, we're Rick James fans over here. I love Prince too, but it's all about Rick James and that punk funk. You know what I mean? Like, he's about it at the end of the day. So yeah, punk funk, Rick James, Gap Band, Barkays, 80s work. You know, Barkays been around forever, but like, yeah, the late and mid 80s work. Night Cruising is the best LP in my eyes. You know, Proposition's a great LP. You know what I mean? Yeah, Street Song, everything from Rick James. He was about it, man. He was the essence of what we love to do and represent, that street funk, that punk funk. And that's the genre of ours. Street funk was coined by myself and Funk Freaks as the style of music that we like and that I DJ'd. So
very nice, man. So it's a pleasure to have you here in Miami. You did a great job with the session that we are going to release.
Thank you, brother.
So I appreciate it, and I hope I can visit you guys there.
Oh, yeah, we got you, man. And we're going to party.
Do some stuff there, man.
No doubt, brother.
Pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
All right, brother.